Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. Now, some time ago, I said I was going to work my way through all of the big finishes. Well, you know what? I'd like to do that, and I probably will at some point. However, there are always new big finishes coming out, at least 2 a month, and I will be covering those in the next podcast, just so that we've got a roundup of what you've missed of late. However, this is part of the retrospective. The retrospective I'm going to cut down to covering the first 50 stories. Now, this is taking us way back to 1999, when Big Finish first arrived and some people thought it would never last. But in October of 1999, we got the second story. I have already reviewed story number 1, and I'm going to try and stick with this rather than just doing one here and there. Phantasmagoria, written by Mark Gatiss. You may recognise the name. He was one of the people at this first meeting who didn't leave with Moffat. Oh, how things might be different if he was the one who'd been called away and Moffat had stayed. But Moffat had left because he wanted to write for a new Doctor. He wanted to take the Doctor in new directions. Gatiss is an old school fan. He's almost, well, one of us even more than Moffat. But let's not judge. Let's not jump ahead 15 years. So, what have we got? Well, the basic setup of these early stories is that you've got one Doctor and one companion, which of course works well when you've got the 7th Doctor and Ace, or the 6th Doctor and Perry, or the 6th Doctor and Mel. Now you have to remember, at this point, McGann's agent had said no, he doesn't want to do it. McGann thought everyone was going, why haven't they asked him? Tom Baker was going, which is translated as no. So we basically had 5, 6 and 7. So Doctors 5, 6 and 7. Now, basically if you want to do 4 recordings of a specific Doctor, you could have one release per month. But in these early days, they were having sporadic releases. Maybe it's once every 2 months, once every 3 months in some cases. So here we are in October 1999, and we're presented with Mark Gatiss' story, Phantasmagoria. As I said, normally you have your Doctor and your companion. Here we have 5th Doctor and Turlough, which is nice, and it does fit between Resurrection of the Daleks and Planet of Fire. In these early days, it was very important to plug the gaps so that you could work out where they fitted. These days, that's not so noticeable, mainly because there are almost as many Doctor Who audios as there are, well, in fact, you already know this, there are more Big Finish Doctor Who than there is TV Doctor Who. And that's not including the Companion Chronicles, which I will talk about at a later time. Phantasmagoria. What's it about? Well, the synopsis is fairly simple. I'll read it out. This is taken from the Big Finish guidebook. The TARDIS brings the Doctor and Turlough to London in 1702, the house of Dr. Samuel Holywell, where they meet his maid, Hannah, following a set of mysterious clues such as playing cards and the activities of the supposed highwayman Major Billy Lovemore. They become embroiled in mysterious goings-on in the Diabolo Club, where Sir Nicholas Valentine is said to be in league with the devil because its members are disappearing after losing cards to him. This is because Valentine is actually an alien. And this is because, and you know what, I won't say any more than that, because I'd quite like you to buy the story, because it's not that bad. Now, the basic premise behind all of this nonsense, it comes from the influence various quarters. Gatiss, as you know, is a big fan of old British movies, not just horror films. Films like The Wicked Lady had influenced storylines in Blackadder. If you know any of those things, you'll know what's coming with the storylines. But if you don't, there are twists coming that are really, really quite good, and they're very well delivered. You have to remember that here we're presented with a different way of recording. Now we have booths. Here we have, well, people standing around a mic. It's very Radio 4. It's very on the hoof. But it does have the feel of a restoration comedy. Again, getting back to Blackadder, it's got a very, very Blackadder feel. So if you like that kind of British comedy, go for it. Now, as well as having Gatiss write it, he's actually in it. But he's not alone, because we've also got, well, David Walliams and Julia Deakin, all playing very, very good parts. These are people who you'd have trouble hiring to be on TV these days. And here we have basically an amateur recording session because they've called in some favours of some pretty damn good actors. Yes, the plot does feel a little bit heavy. Now, it all stemmed from a sketch from The League of Gentlemen, Gatiss' other magnum opus, called Go Johnny Go Go Go, where somebody is trying to explain very complicated car game. If I can find the sketch, I'll try and put it on after the credits. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. And it is particularly funny when performed live. But that's also not important. Basically, we have the standard 4-part setup. In these early days, however, it is worthy of note to say that the thing that's wrong isn't that it's not a recorded TARDIS, it's not that we've got the 5th Doctor with one companion. It's that the music. It's the original Delia Derbyshire theme. They've gone to the trouble of having a bit at the beginning, which is a BBC announcer saying that Doctor Who's returning, which is quite pleasant and a bit quaint. But the bit they've got wrong, the bit that admittedly I set about fixing with some early editing equipment before I gave up in disgust, because I was missing stuff out and not doing a very good job, was that the Delia Derbyshire music is wrong. It shouldn't be here. We've got the 4th Doctor theme playing over the 5th Doctor or the 6th Doctor, the 7th Doctor. It just doesn't quite work. It grates, it annoys, it makes you go, it takes you out of the moment. And it does that at the beginning of every single episode. But there's cliffhangers here. It's basically set up as if it's a recording from the TV. Now, as Big Finish evolve and develop, this does change. It becomes much more confident. It develops a bit of a swagger. It tries new things. But you have to remember, this is release number 2, written by someone you may have heard of, performed by people you might have heard of these days. But then, they were just other people. They were just people off the telly. And you know what? It works. Yes, there's fairly predictable nonsense going on, and there are ideas, themes, lifted or at least influenced from shows that the Doctor was in. There's a little bit of visitation going on. But that's more to add flavour, atmosphere, to also place it firmly in the show's TV origins. Because in these early days, that was important. So as always, I will recommend this. It's not a bad episode by any stretch of the imagination. I wonder what Gatiss would do with it these days. Yes, it does have a certain Crotons feel. Gatiss even remarks at various points that in fact what he's done is create the Crotons Part 2. But it's not a bad thing. It's a revenge drama. It's a period piece. It's also a great slice of, well, our joint history. Because without these early stories, we wouldn't have Big Finish today. These things were available on CD eventually. They were released on tape and people were buying them. Cassette, remember that? Well, in 1999, people still got cassettes because they could listen to them in the car. Well, that's the sort of world we were in then, but maybe it's not these days. So yeah, directed by Nicholas Briggs, and with the original working titles of Chamber of Blood and Restoration. Restoration would have worked. And just to put this into context, it was recorded not that long after Peter Davison was kidnapped by David Walliams and Mark Gatiss. This time, as the notes say, there was no kissing. So until next time, when I'll be talking about something else, probably Doctor Who, probably Big Finish number 3, which is the 6th Doctor and Perry in Whispers of Terror, be seeing you. Here's the trailer for Phantasmagoria.
William? As in William and Mary, right?
So they did teach you something at Brendan, then?
I liked history.
Well, now you can watch it happen. It's the 8th of March, 1702.
My name is Nicholas Valentine.
I prithee pardon, gentlemen, but I must make free with your purses. Till next we meet, good night, gentlemen. It has been a pleasure. Ha! A pleasure for you to be robbed by Major Billy Lovemore!
If we had time, you and I could sit by the fire and natter on about mapping exterior continuums onto interior dimensions and so on and so forth.
But we don't have time.
Regrettably, no. However, for the sake of established history, that's probably no bad thing.
There have been developments. Our client reports there is something odd going on in the vicinity. Disappearances. Then last night, something more.
In the name of Christ, help me!
What is it? What ails you?
And also, they're coming! They're coming for me!
We shall play another game, you and I. I'm afraid the rules are of my own making.
You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who is the property of the BBC and no infringement is intended. To contact the show or to find out more about Whostrology and my other works, click on the links on the Tin Dog Podcast homepage. Why not follow Blue Box Messiah, all one word, on Twitter to keep up to date with tour dates of my forthcoming Doctor Who comedy play. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.
Are we playing for money?
That's the only way to play, Doc.
Would you like to do the honours, young man?
I will, sir.
Right. What's it to be then?
Knockout whist.
Knockout whist? I think not, Doc. Let's have a round of slippery jack.
Excellent, sir, excellent.
I'm afraid I don't know how to play that one.
You don't know slippery jack, Doc? Doc doesn't know slippery jack, right?
You don't know slippery jack, Doc. All right, let's have a round of 40-card drag.
Good idea, young man.
1, 2, 3.
40-card drag. Is that the one that's a bit like poker?
Do you know any card games, Doc?
Yes. Whist, knockout whist, rummy, pontoon.
No, come on, let's have a game of Go, Johnny, Go, 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 Go!
Excellent, sir, excellent.
I'll just sort through these.
Look, I don't know how to play that one either.
Oh, everyone knows Go, Johnny, Go, 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 Go!
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You do. It's like a cross between Hoover and 8 Men Down.
I don't know how to play those either.
Oh!
That's okay. We'll just have to explain the rules to you then, Doc.
It's very simple.
Jacks are worth 10, kings are worth 3.
Apart from one-eyed jacks, which are wild cards.
Yeah, but we'll come to those in a minute.
Round 1, you get a hand of 9. Round 2, a hand of 7.
2's a wild card.
But we'll come to those in a minute.
Apart from diamonds, which retain their face value.
Except the king of diamonds, obviously.
Obviously. We play in sequence, and as you can match a pair or play a card in ascending or descending order.
If you can, that's a Go, Johnny, Go, 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 Go.
You stand up, pick up all the cards on the table, and shout, Go, Johnny, Go, 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 go!
The winner is the man with the most tricks after 15 hands.
You'll pick up the rest as we play. Shall we say a pound a round?
Just one thing. Are queens worth 12?
What queens?
Queens in the pack.
The pack? Sorry, what's the pack?
It means the deck.
No, Doc, there are no queens.
We're playing with a French pack.
Deck, my...
A French deck, stand corrected, sir.
Thank you, young man.
Oh.
Right, who's to lead?
I think that's you, Doc.
Oh. I'm not really sure how to start.
Well, just put a card on the table.
Come on! A 5.
You can't lead with a 5.
This is Go, Johnny, Go, 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 not Bam Fist Fat.
Sorry.
Start again. Very interesting, Mr. Bond. Sit.
It's in the hole.
Town. What?
Oh, come on, Doc.
What?
Well, that's a Go, Johnny, Go, 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 Go.
Is it? Oh,
Well, you can't touch them.
Why not?
You've got to say Go, Johnny, Go, 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 Go.
Go, Johnny, go, go, go,
I
go.
have to stand up first.
And say Go, Johnny, Go, 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 go.
Go, Johnny, go, 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 go.
Right, now name your pairs.
What?
Name your pairs.
You didn't say about naming pairs.
You put down a 5.
Yes.
Well, if you put down a 5, you must have pairs.
Why must I have pairs?
Because that's a Go, Johnny, Go, 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 Go.
Oh, for God's
Well, you can't look at it.
I'm supposed to remember them.
Stop it!
Look. Jacks are worth 10, kings are worth 3.
From one I just...
Why can't we just play something simple? And why do we only ever play things that you two know the rules of? We started this when we were kids. You used to put bets on bloody hungry hippos. Why can't we just play Hangman? Or something.
All right, Doc.
Whatever you say, Doc.
Hangman it is.
Hangman. Sounds good to me.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, Hangman. You playing Canadian rules or Italian?